Hello and welcome to another interesting edition of Sport Vision 360 right here on WTV, Wonderland Television. I'm Donald Gbavobo. As usual, it's going to be another 30 minutes of interesting sporting action and analysis as we keep you up to speed with the latest happening in the ever exciting world of sports. And joining me in doing it, as usual, is Austin Arume. Austin, good to have you on the show today once again.
It's definitely good to be here once again, and actually an exciting time to talk sport.
Really exciting because we're going to concentrate on the upcoming friendly matches between Nigeria and Ghana and Nigeria and Mali. For the first time, the Super Eagles are regrouping after the African Cup of Nations. What do they have in store for us, especially with a new coach in charge? We'll talk more about it after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Still Sports Vision 360 right here on Wonderland Television. And the Super Eagles will take on the Black Stars of Ghana on the 22nd, which is Friday, in an international friendly. And we play a second friendly match against Mali next Tuesday. All these matches are geared towards getting the team prepared for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers against South Africa. South Africans themselves are getting ready, playing a 3-nation or 4-nation tournament back there at home, involving teams like Algeria. So every team is getting prepared one way or the other for the World Cup qualifiers. For the Super Eagles, it will be the first time they are converging after the African Cup of Nations, where they placed second. They performed marvelously well. We're all privy to all that transpired in Cote d'Ivoire and how the team, against all odds, got to the finals. But then a lot of changes are taking place in that team. Well, not too much. But then the main architect of that outing in Cote d'Ivoire, talking about the coach Jose Peseiro, has left his job after his contract expired, and the NFF didn't renew it, though they were interested. But negotiations, we understand, has broken down between both parties. So the position of coach of the Super Eagles has since been thrown open, with a lot of applications coming in both from within and outside the country. But for now, the Super Eagles will be handled by the assistant coach in the time of Pizarro, talking about Finidi George, former international, given the reins to handle Super Eagles for these two friendly matches, and it remains to be seen what to expect from this team. Austin, anytime the Super Eagles gather, whether for friendly matches or important qualifiers or internationals, it's always serious business because Nigerians always want the best from the Super Eagles. Do you see this as a pointer to what to expect against South Africa, or it's just another opportunity for the guys to come together, especially given the fact that we're talking about an interim coach?
Yeah.
Is this a test for Finidi George? Because never can tell. A good performance here could make the NFF change their mind and give him the job, or it's just another opportunity for the team to come together and bond ahead of the upcoming World Cup qualifiers.
Well, I think there's a lot at stake in terms of playing the World Cup qualifier, because if you look at the last World Cup, Nigeria was not there, and you can actually see that even though we enjoyed the World Cup, it was not actually sweet. If I can use that word, it was not sweet to a lot of us from a Nigerian perspective, because the Super Eagles were not there. Now you look at the way we started this World Cup qualifier. I think we are lacking behind already, and playing against South Africa, we know how difficult it's going to be. Now you know that the whole defeat at the African Cup of Nations is actually still playing on their mind, and they'll be coming to actually revenge that. So in that regard, I would say Nigeria playing against Ghana and Mali, to me, actually should mean more than just converging and getting to see each other. I think it should mean serious business. I think it has to be very, very serious, because that the next time you are coming together again is a World Cup qualifier game against South Africa. So looking at that, you have to also look at the fact that you have the coach who already left after his contract expired, and you have a new person in charge. So for
interim
me,
basis.
on interim, even though it's on interim basis.
But they're talking about that.
Yeah.
Let me quickly come in. Yeah. Look, does it really matter that the coach in charge now, Finidi George, is not the substantive coach? Would it have been better if you had a substantive coach? Because you know that whatever he's going to do now, whatever he observes in these two friendly matches, we have to prepare for South Africa. But if Finidi George, even if he wins, it's not going to be in charge against South Africa, we could as well say, well, the whatever gains we have recorded may not be of much effect. What do you think? Does it really matter that we have an interim coach, or would you have preferred that the substantive coach is already in place? Like Ghana, they already have a substantive coach in place already. So
I think what the difference between Nigeria and Ghana at this point, I think they had to bring in someone who was there as coach before. Otado. He was the one that actually tutored Ghana to the World Cup. We brought them to Nigeria here, and they secured the ticket right here in Nigeria. So you are looking
easier for them.
I think it's easier for them, but for Nigeria, you are looking at this perspective that okay, you have a coach who just left at the back of an impressive performance at the African Cup of Nations. Now, in replacing such a coach is going to be very, very difficult, and it might take some time to arrive at
the situation of. I mean, we are trying to compare Ghana and Nigeria now since we already started it.
Yeah.
Ghana not having too much of options.
Yeah.
He was always there.
Yeah.
Not that he did badly in the World Cup, but he left after the World Cup, so he was always there, waiting in the wings. So at the slightest opportunity, they went for him. But for Nigeria, it's like being spoiled for choice. Because you have an Amunike everybody's rooting for.
Yeah.
Even the Finidi George as interim basis.
Yeah.
It's also was part of the last setup.
Yeah.
So many other coaches are also making their interest known, both local and foreign. So could it be that the technical committee of the NFF is just spoiled for choice, and they just cannot make up their mind early enough? That's why we're in this situation of not having a substantive coach already.
Yeah, I think that's what is going on at the background, because if you look at it, they have a lot of options, to choose from. Even for me, the fact that Finidi George has been, part of the backroom staff, right from the beginning of Jose Pesero's tenure, shows that he has, a very deep knowledge of, what the team should be about by now, and the fact that he's the one that will be in charge of the upcoming friendly, I think for me is a good one. It means that I believe that the experience that he's had under Jose Pesero might actually come to bear at the end of the day.
Let's look at this scenario.
Yeah.
Finidi George takes charge of this team. Yeah. Nigeria whips Ghana 4-0. Whips Mali 4-0. Will there be any logical call for any other person to be in charge of Super Eagles other than Finidi George?
Well, it depends on what the NFF are looking for. I believe there was a time we talked about a coaching situation. I think it was with Germany, where we I've forgotten who was in charge,
and they won.
And they won, and we're talking about whether he should continue as the coach of Germany. I think that would be the same situation. But at the end of the day, you could see that Vullard was not retained, and another coach was brought in. And if you look at it, it all depends on what the NFF is looking for. Do they have their eyes set on a particular coach even before the friendly game, and they were just waiting to actually formalize all the necessary documents? Or is it that we are still trying to observe, trying to assess all the options that we have? Probably Finidi George might actually have a chance at the end of the day.
Anyway, foreign or local coach?
Well,
I'll save your answer. Answer after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Still Sports Vision 360 right here on Wonderland Television, and we're talking about the Super Eagles as we prepare for the friendly matches against Ghana, which will take place on Friday, and Mali, the Eagles of Mali against on Tuesday. It's interesting. We're all talking about the Ghana friendly. Not much been said about the Eagles of Mali friendly.
Yeah.
Because of the rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana. They've called it Jollof friendly and battle for battle for Jollof supremacy,
Yeah.
Nigeria and Ghana. It's always very interesting, whether friendly or real internationals.
Yeah.
Nigeria and Ghana any day is always very clearly contested. But now, um, before we went to the break, I asked you about the coaching situation of Super Eagles. Before you prefer a foreign coach, do you think we're better off with a foreign coach or with an indigenous coach for now? Because a lot of people have said it's time to come home back home after being handled with by two foreign coaches, the last two coaches, and now it's time to come back home. Do you think that actually that's true?
Well, for me, I believe it's not just about the individual that is there. It's not just about whether the coach is foreign or the coach is local. It's all about the input or what the coach in question is going to bring. Now you're talking about hiring a foreign coach. If you are looking for a foreign coach, if you want to hire a foreign coach, you should make sure that is actually the one that is going to come in and probably change the face of our football. Quality foreign coach, if I can use that word. Now, if you are looking at maybe you want to look in the direction of the local coaches, then you have to look at it as well. That it has to be someone that has the quality. So a quality
I'm talking
local
about
coach.
quality. I understand a good number of the NFF technical committee members are of the opinion that local coaches don't have what it takes to handle these boys, especially managing their ego and stuff like that. But then again, some people have also said that it is beyond that. There's something the NFF know that we don't know.
Yeah.
Probably it has to do with the fact that some of the excesses of the federations that the foreign coaches condone, like Zero condoned in his time when he was being old, backlogs, salaries, because he wanted to use Nigeria to make his name, which he has already done. So he has done, many of us feel that's what he did. But before Nigeria, he had not really had much of a success as a coach. And he knows that Nigeria has the quality players to help him do that. He has achieved that. The local coaches will be much more vocal and in expressing any misgivings or poor situation they may be working in. I don't really know. Could that be another reason why maybe they are being careful about? Because left with me, if everybody is saying the name everybody has been calling Amunike, if for another reason, give it to back to the wish of the people. So at the end of the day, at least you can resurrect yourself. You should have said you wanted him or if it didn't work out. But there's still this argument over whether to give it to him or go for a foreign coach. Anyway, whether a foreign coach or an indigenous coach, let's hope that the best person came into the Super Eagles. Now let's look at the team. A good number of the players that played in the African competitions are still there. Then some new additions. Some people that missed the African competition due to injury are back. The likes of Indidi, and the likes of Sadiq Kuma, they are back in the team. And some people that were not even considered for the AFCON, Fisayo, Dele Bashiro, Cyril Dessers,
and
Teller, they have been in good form for the club this season. Unfortunately, Osimhen is not going to be part of it. Awoniyi, injury ruled him out from the Nations Cup, still not going to play in this one. And so many people feel that this is even of a better, stronger squad than the squad in Nations Cup, especially with the addition of Ndidi in this team. And likes of Nathan Taylor. Remember, Chukwueze was not called up. So Nathan Taylor is probably, because of Nathan Taylor, Fisayo, Dilibashi, who were put in from that right hand side of the pitch. So anyway, so this is this is a strong squad by every
standard.
By every standard, strong squad. And so it's like it's an inkling into the direction the national team is going the next, because you have a lot of more younger players coming. There's no Joseph, we know he's injured. We know he's on the wrong side of 30. Ahmed Musa, probably we've seen the last of him in the Nations Cup. So this is more like a younger squad in terms of looking ahead and the future for the Nigerian team.
Yeah, definitely. And I still feel like more players are going to come in at the end of the day, because irrespective of how you want to look at it, some will say, you are unsettling the team or you're making the team unstable by bringing in new faces. But at the end of the day, you have to actually make this decision. You have to bring in these new faces, because when you know that there's competition, every player, every of these guys who actually want to stand up to that particular competition. And if you look at these players that are coming in, it shows that the Super Eagles are going in the direction of, okay, let's move into the future. They are looking at the future now. The young players that are doing well, in every right. You talked about the Tantella, who wasn't at the African Cup of Nations. I'm sure that he was not really happy that he didn't, make the list to, play at that.
No. Even the Tessa was talking about how disappointed he was that he even looked in the show. I think everybody that missed out, probably they will bring that anger to bear in this match to show Nigerians what we missed in the Nations Cup.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I said, sometimes you need these things. Sometimes you need, to keep these players angry, because you know that when they are angry, they are coming in and they will want to prove a point. And that might be the case for the likes of Taylor, the likes of Cyril Desas. At the end of the day, we know Ndidi actually missed the Nations Cup because of injury, and I'm sure that if Ndidi was at the African Cup of Nations, probably our team would have been more solid. Not that they were not solid, but I'm sure that it would have been, how should I put it, impregnable at the end of the day. That's how I feel.
Anyway, well, for the Super Eagles, it's always, like I said, anytime they are playing, whether friendly or real internationals, it's always serious business.
Yeah.
So Nigerians, no matter how it is against Ghana, you expect a win. So playing for a win and actually getting to see the players out there, especially the new ones.
Yeah.
What should be our objective going to this match?
Well, our objective, first of all, should be about looking for the right set of players that will persecute that game against South Africa. Because for me, this feels more like preparations for the World Cup qualifier. Because the whole I don't know how to, but there's this burden on the Super Eagles players, that they have to make it right. That they have to get it right this time. Like what happened at the last time. I think it's actually not a good one. It's not actually a good feeling when others are going for the World Cup and you are playing for your club. Like Victor Osimhen, he's a top player, and most of the time he's expected to play in all these big competitions, especially the World Cup, and your country is not going. It's actually it's not going to be like a happy moment for most of these guys. So I believe that they are looking at this game as, okay, the right preparation for the World Cup qualifier. Because when you look at it, the whole rivalry thing between Nigeria and Ghana, you have to also look at this South African side as well. There's also this mini rivalry that we have. It might not be
don't call it million. Some of the Nations Cup, Nations Cup. It's
so,
getting to the level, almost get to the level of Ghana. It's just that you cannot beat Nigerians, Ghana. I think Nigerians and Ghana's rivalry it became more and more comical in terms of we understand the fact that we are two football playing nations and we could win or lose to each other. But with Ghana, with South Africa one, I think it's more about pride. It's about national pride and patriotism. As they feel that actually know what happens to South Africa with Nigerians there and everything. So there's more to it. I don't see Nigeria and Ghana playing and the ambassadors and the fans are being warned to stay home. Nigerians staying in Ghana to stay home. It doesn't get to that. We banter and we laugh about it. But Nigeria and South Africa's zone it has a different dimension to it because of the political angle and stuff. So and I think that is not too good.
Definitely. It's not too good, to actually, have this animosity between Nigeria and South Africa at the end of the day. But we know that the reason I said this Ghana match is actually more like, should I say, a preparation for that match because of that rivalry. There's rivalry between us and Ghana. Rivalry between us. So I want to see how well we can actually manage that game against Ghana, because Ghana is as good as is as good a team as the South African team. Forget about the fact that they didn't go too far at the African Cup of Nations, but then Ghana, Nigeria, any day, anytime, a very very difficult game, and we want to see how Nigeria can actually navigate their way past Ghana at this time, irrespective of the fact that this is actually a friendly match. So it's going to be more than a friendly match, because we know the whole banter thing is still going to come in at the end of the day, because every day you wake up, even on the social media, you're on Facebook, on Twitter, is always Ghana versus Nigeria, and we know that the fact that this is a friendly game is not going to change that. So Nigeria will be waiting for Ghana to lose so that they can go to social media and throw them, vice versa. And you look at the situation, it's actually a very funny one, but then it's actually a very serious business at the end of the day for Nigeria.
So to go on a short break now, and when we return, probably we do our last take on the show. Stay with us. Welcome back, still Sports Vision 360 right here on Wonderland Television. As we gradually wrap it up on the show, I also play, as you are well aware, we not only play against the Black Stars of Ghana, we also play against the Eagles of Mali.
Yeah.
So we should not concentrate on beating Ghana and then losing to Mali. Because Nigerians, like I said, whether friendly or not friendly, the first of all, Eagles to win all the time. So the Eagles of Mali, they also pose a very big challenge to the Super Eagles.
Yeah, definitely. I have to be very sincere. The Africa Cup of Nations, the Eagles of Mali, they were one of those teams that are actually tipped to go very far, very deep into the tournament, probably the semi-final plays, or probably playing in the final, because you look at how they've evolved. You look at that team, the way they are playing with so much determination and all that. They have a whole bunch of young, talented players that are presently, playing in that Mali team. So it's going to be a cracker, if you ask me. It's going to be, another good game you can actually use to prepare against South Africa. Irrespective of the fact that, okay, South Africans too, they are preparing in their own way, playing against, teams like Algeria. So let's see how, that pans out. But I expect Nigeria not to just look at that game against Ghana alone and win against Ghana and at the end of the day lose to Mali. We don't want that to happen. We want to see progression in how we are doing. We want to see the Super Eagles win against Ghana and at the same time win against Mali.
Okay, so these two matches,
yeah.
would you prefer that we bring in new players, some of the new players, or they will stick to the player that we know, because we must win? But then, like we said, the opportunity to test new players, because some very interesting names there. Personally, I would have loved to have seen a boy play for Nigeria. Unfortunately, he's injured. I would love to have seen him play again for Nigeria. He's injured. But then some new players, Fisayo David Bashiro, Tantelo talked about him. Then there's this Tanimu Benjamin. So very intriguing and very fascinating.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that guy.
Yeah. Then
for somebody that plays in Tanzania, because of Super Eagles, it must be extremely good.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll prefer these new guys be given a run. That's how that they've earned that color. That's how you guys actually give them that opportunity to prove that they deserve a spot in the Super Eagles. Take for example, Taylor, for me, has been fantastic for Bayer Leverkusen this season. I want to see what he can actually add to the Super Eagles, because if you look at the way he's playing for his team, if he can actually bring that to the Super Eagles, I think it will actually take the Super Eagles to a whole new dimension. I believe that that's what is needed at this particular point. I want to see these new guys getting a run. Because for me, guys like Taylor, even though he was invited, before the African Cup of Nations, didn't get enough time, in my opinion, to actually prove that he deserved a place in the Super Eagles. I'm talking about Tenimu Benjamin, that plays in Tanzania as well. We want to see, what is that reason? Want to see why this guy was invited to the team. We don't want you inviting a player irrespective of where you're inviting them from, and you're not giving them a run. So let's see the reason why Tenimu Benjamin was invited for that.
Well, whoever could Finidi George decides to play in these 2 matches, they should ensure victory for Super Eagles, because, like we said, friendly match or no friendly match, Nigeria always want Super Eagles to win. And with the quality of players invited, they will have what it takes to win the match. So I want to wish Finidi George good luck in this his first time out as interim coach of the Super Eagles. You just never can tell. It may just be something that will sway the Super Eagles job in his favor. Who knows? Anything could still happen. So much on the program for today. I want to thank you for being there for us, and because without you, we would not be here. Thank you for always tuning in, watching our show. And I also want to thank Austin Arume for always being here, giving us incisive analysis of topical issues. And once again, he has done justice to his analysis of our upcoming Super Eagles friendly matches. I'm Donald Babobo. I also want to thank, before I forget, my production team led by Kefas, behind the cameras and doing the directing, and all of us who have worked behind the scene. If you have enjoyed your time with us, let's do it again next time. Enjoy the rest of the day.